Free Talk Tuesday. Wasn't going to do it. I'm on vacation. This would have been the first one that I missed, but I decided that I would do a quick one and just go over the things that I have been looking at with the Bears lately because we're in the dead period. If you guys haven't noticed, I've been putting out these little trivia game things, doing a little game with some of the other content creators. You guys will see that fairly soon. But doing that just for entertainment. Hope everybody has an amazing 4th of July. Came up with a kiddo to visit grandma and grandpa in the farm town I grew up in. And so some of the things, I'm just going to go over it quick. This will probably be 5-10 minutes just so I can get a Free Talk Tuesday in, just so we didn't miss one. A couple of things that I'm seeing though, one of the biggest things is PFF is releasing their grades on the different areas of the team. And it's got me frustrated, but it's also a good reality check that we can't count the chickens before they're hatched on this team until we actually get into the games. Because we see the potential, we see everything good happening, but they just released that the secondary on this team is the 20th ranked in the league. And to me, that was like blasphemy. That was terrible. I couldn't believe that we were ranked that low. And I looked and the Texans were right by us too. And if you guys saw my recent video on cornerbacks and the rankings there, Texans and us should both be a lot higher. Now they had some good things. They had Buffalo and they had San Francisco ranked near the top, and I agree with that. They both should be near the top. But the Bears should not be any lower than 10th. There's no excuse for that whatsoever. If you looked at my ranking thing, all four of our main cornerbacks were in the top 40 in the entire league. And so to me, that was bizarre. So with the settings, guys, and just being on my phone, just so you guys know, I won't be able to see chat or see anything. So I apologize. Leave comments and I'll get to them later. But to me, that was bizarre, 20th. And then you look at where they have our offensive line ranked, and they have us ranked 20, or that's our defensive line, 27th and 17th for the offensive line. So the media is so scared to be in on the Bears. And that's typical, though. They don't want the Bears to be the darling team. They want other more popular teams to be the darling teams. So that's just a good gut check reminder, a reminder that until the games are played, we can't count our chickens. But I see this team being so much more potential than that. Being ranked 20th on our secondary, that was ridiculous. I seriously, I got frustrated just looking at my phone. I was just, what the, what? That made no sense to me whatsoever. So that was number one. The defensive line, that was the other thing I want to mention. Two things there. Two things. Number one, I'm curious how Dominique Robinson's going to pan out. If nobody's been following him or if they don't know the history, I'll give a quick history on Dominique Robinson here. So he was a quarterback coming out of high school. A lot of people don't realize that. And he went to, oh man, I think it was Miami of Ohio. Don't check me on his school. It was a couple years ago. He's on his 4th year now. He was in Miami of Ohio, and he just wasn't panning out as a wide receiver. So he switched to wide receiver when, as many quarterbacks do, they're very athletic, very talented. They get to college and they make the switch. So he went to wide receiver, and 6'5", 215-ish pounds when he came into college. Put on a little weight, 220, 225, and he just wasn't panning out. He didn't have the best reception numbers. He had some drops. His contested catches were okay. I've done a deep dive on him. I haven't done a video on it, but I know what I'm talking about with Dominique. So 2 years he's there, and then one of his good friends was a defensive end that was going into the National Football League, and he said, you know what? I'm built just like him. I can make the switch. So he got with a nutritionist, and he put a diet together, and he did it the healthy way. He put all the healthy fatties, like avocado and healthy oils that you put into, like just pouring it on your salad to get healthy fats and healthy oils to help you gain that weight. And he did it the healthy way. And he got up to 240. I think right now he's at 255 in the league, but he got up to 240, 245, and he made the switch in college. And he did pretty well. I think his final year in college, he had 4 sacks, I think, but about 1 pressure every 10 snaps, which is good. If you've watched my channel, you know the best guys in the league, the guys drafted in the 1st and 2nd round, they're having 1 every 6 snaps. So 1 every 10. There's a reason he got drafted in the 6th round by the Bears, and he's very athletic. He was an athletic player. He did well at the combine. So always a prospect. And it's one of the things I'm curious about with his offensive history. And we have Mercedes Lewis now for 1 more year on as a tight end, as our 3rd tight end. How he would fit as if we hybrid him, because he's 6'5", 255. He's very athletic. And he could block. We could hybrid him into a tight end, and maybe that's not even on the Bears' radar. Maybe this is just my thinking, but I always thought that would be kind of a good fit for him because in the NFL, he just hasn't panned out. He just hasn't got there as a defensive end. His pressure numbers are terrible, some of the worst in the league. And so I've said before this offseason, he's definitely a cut candidate, someone I would cut. But you also saw this offseason, if you guys haven't looked, go look on Twitter or go look, um, just Google it. He's put in the work. He's gained some more muscle weight, and he looks like he's really toned and ready to go. And he's making it serious, which is good. I want to see all of our guys be serious about their craft and see if they can make it and pan out. Um, I just don't see him with us bringing Jacob Martin in. What that to me, that's the other point with defensive ends. They've got us ranked 27th. Jacob Martin is a completely undervalued signing for us. He is Yannick Ngakoue, but better in my mind. Now, I realize I'm the only person that's going to say that, but I did make a video on Jacob Martin. Go check it out if you didn't see it. He's got more burst. He's got better moves to the inside, and he doesn't give up the run as much. Now, I realize his run numbers aren't the best either. He's got some improving to do, and I think Eric Washington's a great coach to bring with Jacob Martin, not to have the pressure on him to be a starter, but to be able to be that fourth option, which is what he is right now for us. Austin Booker would be the third option, and Jake Martin would be the fourth option. I think it's a perfect position. That was an undervalued signing, and I think he's going to have a great year for us. Even if he only plays 300 snaps and he gets 4 or 5 sacks, that's a great year for a fourth rotational defensive end. And I think we had a great signing there. Add Austin Booker to that mix, which you guys know I'm super hyped on, and DeMarcus Walker, when Montez Sweat came over, I've made so many videos on that. He was elite. He was among the best defensive end in the league. Now, I realize without Montez Sweat, he's not. He's very average to below average, but we have Montez Sweat, so it's not like that went away. So, yeah, I can't agree with PFF on these things. And I realize they just aren't the type to homer on the Bears, and the Bears have had a couple bad years, so everyone wants to see us prove it first. But I'm not down with 27th on the defensive line. I can see us being average, them calling us 15th. I can see that, but not with Montez Sweat alone. How are we 27th? That makes zero sense to me. And the secondary, there were nine defensive backs, 9 cornerbacks, defensive backs, period, but cornerbacks are the ones who get more picks, that had 4 or more interceptions this year. The Bears had 2 of those. 2. Jalen Johnson and Tyreek Stevenson. And on top of that, Jalen Johnson had a 33.3 PFF grade, or NFL passer rating against, not PFF grade, NFL passer rating against. I don't think people realize how historic that is. Like, that is a phenomenal NFL passer rating against. The next best guy, Deron Bland and a couple others, were in the 50s. And then 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 100s. Like, a 33.3 NFL passer rating against is being so overlooked by this league. I don't know. Those 2 things really kind of fluff my feathers right now. So I'm a little irritated about that. That's all I got for you guys today. I just want to talk about those PFF grades and Dominique Robinson and Jake Martin, and just hoping everybody has, sorry, I'm bobbing. I'm not even paying attention to that. It's probably weird on your screens, but hope you guys all have a great 4th of July. I might put something out on the 4th of July, but I am without my computer, without all my stuff that I put my videos together with. I'll check out comments if you guys leave any comments. I hope you guys have a great 4th of July. I am a huge 4th of July is one of my favorite holidays. I'm a huge patriot to this country. I love living in America. I am very grateful for the freedoms we have. I grew up on a farm. This is where I grew up. It's middle of country, and it's peaceful to come back and visit. And I really appreciate the freedoms that we have. No matter how this election goes, we're grateful. We're grateful, and we are blessed to live in a country that has the freedoms that we do. So with that, claws up, bear down. Hope you guys have a great Tuesday and a great holiday, and we'll see you guys soon.